Welcome, everybody, back to another episode of Wire2Wire Sports Podcast. I'm the NFL genius, Gene Walls. Like in the upper left corner, we got Kent State's own, Cleveland's own, College Cutro.
Gentlemen, how are we feeling today? I feel like today is about to be a fantastic show. We had a lot of news happen this past week. I'm excited to get into it.
Bro, there's a lot of news that happened. If we're being completely honest with each other, a lot of it is dumb news, and it's absolutely embarrassing. I can't, we'll get into it. I'm fired up. In the upper right corner, Uncle Shally, Scholastic Shally, Mr. William Shallcross. How you feeling tonight, Bill?
Wonderful, gentlemen. Wonderful. It has been a interesting week, to say the least. A lot of Boner of the Year award nominees are making their presence known.
Bro, I'm just like, I don't understand. I don't understand. And I don't know what's dumber, right? Like, I'm going to use one for my you got to be kidding me. I still don't know because there's so many dumb things that happen in sports this week.
I'd imagine you're going to use one of the topics that we cover in Hot Wire because in one way or another, all three of them could be used as a you got to be kidding me. So, I mean, really, with that being said, you want to get right into it?
Yes, I do. It's so insane. Everything's insane. I don't know what's dumber. I need the chat to help me understand what is dumber.
All right. Well, first things first, we will be starting off in the NBA with Mr. Bam Adebayo. He is now second in NBA history as far as total points in one game goes, and he scored 83 points last night against the Washington Wizards. Gentlemen, what are your thoughts and reactions to Bam scoring 83 points in the game, passing Kobe to move into second all-time for points scored in the game?
If you wanted to put like something out there of why modern day basketball is failing, make people watch that basketball game. Like, for them to be up 27, intentionally fouling the other team so time doesn't go off the clock, so he can break Kobe's record, who no longer is with us, for the modern day record in points, is a joke. It's a travesty. And then for him to be like, I'm such a Kobe fan, that's why it meant so much to me. If you were a Kobe fan, you wouldn't embarrass his legacy by what you did last night. That was embarrassing. He's wide. The guy's wide open. He's triple teamed. He's taking shot. He shot 40 free throws. He shot under 50%. What a joke. That was embarrassing. It was embarrassing, and it was disrespectful to Kobe Bean Bryant.
I couldn't disagree with you more, Gene. I think if you actually like looked at, I feel like it's easy to say that or easy to see that, they were intentionally fouling. But I think the part that's not being talked about is how he had 31 points in the first quarter, or how he had 51 pretty early in the third quarter there. And the Wizards were actually intentionally fouling other people from the Miami Heat while they had the basketball there to make sure that Bam wasn't getting any shots off. They were also triple teaming Bam in those situations there as well. And I think the other part of it is that we've never had this conversation before regarding Wilt Chamberlain's record. And if you study up on that, the exact same things were happening in that game if you believe that the game actually happened. I'm firmly on the conspiracy side that Wilt never scored 100, but it has been widely documented that in that basketball game, Wilt's teammates were intentionally fouling the other team so that he can get every opportunity to score 100 points in that basketball game. So I get it. It's the hot topic right now. As far as being disrespectful to Kobe, I think Kobe, as the fierce competitor that he is, he would have 100% would have been like, hey, he went out, he got 83 points. And funny enough, there was a kid that scored 130 points in a college game, and they interviewed Kobe after that. And he basically said, it really doesn't matter how it happens. Scoring that many points in a basketball game is impressive. And it was pretty telling that was Kobe's opinion on it in the moment. So I mean, I think it's easy to just kind of look at the stat sheet, see that he took 40 free throws, or see that, you know, they were intentionally fouling, which I do have issues, I guess, with that side of it. But Bam was on an absolute heater. And if you actually go back and watch all the points that Bam scored in that game, I would say he shot 40 something free throws. Of those free throws that he took, I'd say there are really only maybe 3 questionable foul calls out of all of them. Bam was just on an absolute heater, and he got extra possessions, yes, from them intentionally fouling. But the other part that's not talked about is the Wizards were doing absolutely everything in their power to not even give an opportunity to put up points there. So that's what the Miami Heat ultimately wanted to do to kind of circumvent that. And I mean, more power to them, I guess.
I couldn't. Me and you are just going to fundamentally disagree. Why is your star player in the basketball game up 27 points with 7 minutes left?
So it's okay when Wilt does it, but because we saw Bam do it,
you just said it didn't happen, so you can't be full of shit twice, Cottrell.
I just said,
or it's okay, it did happen. Don't be full of shit twice.
I'm not. I quite literally said, if you open up your ears, I quite literally said that I don't think it happened. But if you believe that it happened, it's widely documented. And it's funny because you parade yourself as this big Wilt Chamberlain fan. And you heard all the stories and all the folklores and things like that. And we've been doing this show for 6 years. And the conversation has absolutely never come up about Wilt Chamberlain getting intentionally fouling his teammates and things happen like that. You don't have to watch it to know that was a thing that happened. No one watched it. There's no video.
There's no video of it.
It's widely documented. It's widely documented.
I watched last night.
I watched that
bullshit.
So things that well, first, I know you didn't watch the game live. Like, let's not lie to people. Nobody was tuning in to watch Heat Wizards live.
Yeah, but everybody turned it on in the third quarter when he had 60.
All right, so everything that happened before 60 just doesn't matter then?
Bro, if he would have scored 72 points and didn't play the fourth quarter, I would have had more respect for what they did in the fourth quarter. He had 68 going into the fourth quarter, scored 15 points in the fourth quarter in an absolute blowout. I would have had more respect for that than if he plays the fourth quarter and what they did to get him to 83. And why 83, Cottrell? Because you keep bringing up Wilt's bullshit, but you don't bring up how Kobe scored 82. You don't bring that up.
Well, he scored 81.
He did it the right way.
Well, if you remember the Kobe game there as well, Lakers were up like 20 with, I want to say, 3 minutes left, and they were still giving Kobe the ball and getting shots. So
Nelson got them within 12, which is why Kobe stayed in the game.
Well, again, if you were watching the game, Lakers were up 20 late in that basketball game. Kobe easily could have got subbed out of that one. But again, it doesn't matter because we like Kobe. Like, I get it. The intentional fouls happening late with Bam. I understand if you're not a fan of that. I completely understand that. But at the same time, scoring 83 points in a basketball game, there's nothing that's disrespectful. It's nothing about bad taste. Like, he was going after something that most people don't get an opportunity to moving forward. Like, we've seen games where Lucas had 60 plus and he sat the whole fourth quarter. We saw a game where Kobe had 60 something and he sat the entire fourth quarter. So these things don't just happen, every so often. And if it was that easy or if it was, that disrespectful, I mean, plenty of other teams can have their star player just go out and, intentionally foul if they want to go for something of this magnitude. You don't see it happening because it's just not something that happens. Like, it takes a special performance for it to happen.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought it was hilarious with the 2-minute mark when they challenged the foul to make sure to do, because they were doing the Wizards doing everything they could to stop the disrespect. Shally, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this because I feel like you should be on my side, but I don't know. With this show, you go off the rails a lot.
So, the only point I don't agree with Jeet on that I would agree with Cottrell on, I don't really if you're entering the fourth quarter and you have a legit shot at a record, and you are on a heater type thing, I don't really have a problem with you staying in the game because it is probably once in a lifetime type run. That being said, I mean, we've talked about it a million times with other things. There's a right way and a wrong way to do everything. I don't want to hear the Wilt Chamberlain stuff because there is no video of the game. You're talking about people playing whisper down the lane for 3 generations of what happened or what didn't happen in that game. So somebody could provide me proof. He scored 100 points and couldn't shoot a 3. So the end of it was despicable for me. I'm not taking anything away at Bam. I don't have any ill will towards Bam whatsoever. But again, Kobe was in the game, playing, shooting, doing the right thing, constantly fouling to get the ball back in his hands to try to. Obviously, at that point, like we can just all be honest, they were trying to get him the ball as much as possible so we could break this record. It's a little embarrassing for me. I don't, again, great night. You still have to give him credit for making all the shots and making all the free throws, but going about it that way to get extra possessions and get extra shots and all that stuff. It's I don't think it's the best look. But I don't care that it was Bam versus Kobe. Like that doesn't play into it for me. And again, I don't think they went about it in the best way. Like I said, I just the last 3 minutes of that game was embarrassing. Like I'm just going to call it what it is. I don't care if you agree with it or disagree with it, but watching that game and watching a team be up by 30, go grab people that don't even have the ball to try to get Bam the ball more, like that's Bush League shit for me. So,
would you say
I'm out on that?
Out of curiosity, would you also consider it Bush League for the Wizards to be fouling players not named Bam Adebayo when they didn't even have the ball in their hands to make sure that Bam wasn't getting shots up?
Yes, that's Bush League also. But you keep calling it a heater. The guy shot 44% from the field. Like he was 7 to 22 from three. It's not a fucking heater when you shoot 50%.
So you keep bringing up this 50% number, and again, if you actually watched the game, you would have saw that Bam was shooting very well throughout. I watched every single Bam shot attempt, and my point is that you have to realize that a lot of those shots that affected his field goal percentage, like, were bad shots that he took in the end of the game. Like, again, what he got up to when he got up to what 60, you said 68 by the end of the third quarter. What was he shooting at that point? Because I know for a fact it had to be above 50% from the field because, again, it felt like he was making every shot that went up, and if he wasn't making it, he was getting fouled. And a lot of those fouls were legitimate foul calls. It wasn't like the refs were just like handing him things or he was flopping or things like that. He was putting his head down, he was getting to the rim, and he was making shots. So, again, I think it's cute to just throw out the 50% number, but if you saw it, you know that Bam was making shots up until the fourth quarter when he was getting triple teamed and just throwing shots up to, potentially get more points up on the board. So I think it's very much a heater. Looking at the game as a whole.
I mean, he missed 23 shots. He made 20. You think he missed 20 of those in the fourth quarter? I'm just trying to understand.
That's not what I'm saying. But again, if the 50% number is the one that you're so caught up on,
he missed. That's what he shot from three. 7 of 22.
So he wasn't a great three-point shooter in the game, but up until the fourth quarter, he was shooting above 50%.
Not from three.
I mean, I don't know if how much I would get caught up in the stats, only simply because to get to that number, like, I mean, it's still an NBA game. Like, he still was being guarded, I guess legitimately for the first 3 quarters. Like, you have to take an insane amount of shots to even get into that territory. So I don't know how much on that I push back, but I look at it like if he would have been at like 81 and they did the foul thing once to try to get him one more shot, I would have been okay with that. But it's like the last 3 minutes of the game took 22 minutes because it was foul shots, foul shot. Like that it's making a mockery of the game. Like, and it's from both sides. But to Gene's point, if you're Miami, at some point you have to realize what it's going to look like too, because you're up 30. So it's like, it's not like this game was like in doubt. Like they're up 30 doing it. Like, yeah, it makes you look bad.
When they were up 27 with with 5 minutes left and the guy had 75 points. If they'd have stopped it right then, I feel like that this would have been talked about in less of a demeaning light. And don't say I'm the only one, because I know I'm not the only one that had a problem with what he did last night, because JJ Redick said it. He wasn't at the game. Who else said it?
He did not say it. He said that was different basketball for the last 3 minutes is what he said.
Correct. It was disrespectful.
To who? Who was it disrespectful to?
Wilt, me, and then Kobe. Come on, bro. Like, just the way he responded. Just
who was it disrespectful to? Like, that's the part that I'm caught up on.
It was disrespectful to Kobe. Why did he need to get to 83, Control?
To be second all time? Past Kobe.
That's why.
So passing Kobe Bryant is. So we talk all the time
on
the show about the ultimate.
He didn't pass him the right way.
Well, I mean, that's your opinion. The right way and the wrong way. He put
did he
points
pass him
in
the
the
right
board.
way, Bill?
No.
Anybody in the chat? Did he pass him the right way? Seriously,
at the end of the day, when you look up, did Wilt Chamberlain score 100 points the right way?
You keep bringing that up. I didn't watch that. I don't know. I watched Kobe score 82.
81.
Whatever.
I'm just saying, if the reports are true, what happened with Wilt Chamberlain? Again, it's widely publicized that that's what happened in the basketball game.
It didn't happen.
Again, if the reports are true, if you're saying Wilt has the record, if you're a believer in Wilt having the record, I understand what I said. But if you're a believer in what Wilt Chamberlain's record is and has 100 points and it happened, are we just going to ignore all the reports that happen around this? Like, is that, did he do it the right way? Did he do it the wrong way? We've never had the conversation before. My point.
I'm not trying to be an asshole, but like, I've read a lot about that game. Like, not everything, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't sit there and read about it for hours, but like, I've read stories and read chapters of books. I've never read anything about nothing that I've ever read has ever even brought up that situation. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, like, I don't. You keep saying widely publicized, like
it is. It's if you look up Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game, it's in the summary of notes. Like it's that widely publicized.
Google this.
Just saying. Once you Google it, you're going to see like probably 8, 9, 10 articles pop up with all of the information.
He set a record for most free throws in the game. He set a record. Do you know how many it was?
Are you talking about Bam?
It was? No. Wilt Chamberlain set a record for most free throws in the game during that game. How many?
I'm not talking about Wilt Chamberlain's fouls. I'm talking about what the fouls that his team committed to get him the ball back.
How many free throws do you think he took?
I have no idea.
Okay.
That's not the point.
Okay. He had 59 in the first half. So
again, not the point.
They only won by 12 too.
I think they won by 22 in that game.
You're 22. You're right. Sorry, bad math. 22. 169.47.
Okay. What's the next topic? I don't agree. We're not going to agree. It's fine.
Next
topic.
Okay
for us not to agree. I just think that you're hypothetical. You got to pick one side of the line to toe. It's either it didn't happen or it did happen and it was cheesy. And if what you're saying is true, they were just fouling the ball to get the ball back to Wilt Chamberlain. Yeah, I would have said that shit was cheesy too, but I didn't see that. This shit was on TV. That was pathetic watching that.
All right. So next topic. We're going to go over to the World Baseball Classic. And Team USA took a loss yesterday. And a lot of questions came up about the lineup that they put out there. A lot of questions about, if they believe that they were already in a spot clinched to go to the quarterfinals. And their manager was asked about it, Mark Del Rosa, and he did an interview with Hot Stove and basically has said, like, yeah, we the bus left late, we were celebrating and all this other stuff, and essentially alluded to the fact that they believe that they were already clinched. Then he was asked about it after the loss, and he said, "Yeah, I misspoke. I was on hot stove with a couple buddies today and completely misread the calculations." And you kind of got that feeling. The moment that everyone seems to point to in the game is that originally they had Clayton Kershaw warming up in the bullpen, and then I would imagine that whispers happened in the dugout, and then they were like, "Oh, let's actually put Mason Miller in the game because we need to try and win this baseball game." So, gentlemen, with the reports that have come out with Mark and their miscalculations within this situation here, and now they have to rely on Mexico and Italy, and the fate's no longer in their hands. What's your thoughts on the situations here?
Yeah, Bill.
You can start with embarrassing again. I don't know how you can be in charge of a team like this and not know your clinching scenarios. I think on top of everything else, I think he mismanaged the game. That's another discussion for another day. But it's not a good look for that roster to possibly not make the knockout rounds. That will be one of that is a huge underachieving choke job type moment. Like that's way up the list if this team doesn't get the knockout rounds. So now they need Italy to win. If Italy wins, I think we're in. If Mexico wins and scores,
they got to score 5 or more.
5 or more, we're in. If Mexico wins and scores 4 or less, we're out.
Yep.
So I think it's hilarious that, a lot of people around here that are not necessarily Aaron Nola fans are all of a sudden huge Aaron Nola fans because he's pitching for Italy tonight. But again, on DeRosa's part, I mean, it's inexcusable. I don't know, and I'll be honest too. I don't know how anybody else on the coaching staff or how anybody else wasn't like, "Yo, dude, like we have to win." They tinkered with the lineup a little bit, and I think some people are making a little bit too much about some of the moves. Like, I mean, listen, there's not some huge drop off between Alex Bregman and Gunnar Henderson. I would argue Gunnar Henderson's probably the better player at this point. I think the one glaring one is Paul Goldschmidt. He looked terrible at the plate. He can't move in the field anymore. Like, the guy was a great player in his prime. He's done. I don't know why Bryce isn't playing. And then some of the outfield guys, I don't think, you can really, come down on him for starting PCA when Buxton really hasn't been hitting, and PCA put up all the runs last night. So I don't have a problem with that one per se. Starting the pitching in the way they did and leaving him in as long as he did, again, for a game that, in his mind, I guess he thought was a throwaway, was the big first mistake. Italy's got a bunch of major league guys that can hit. Everybody knows who Jack Caglione is. Dude's one of the best prospects in baseball. He's already up. So, I hope it doesn't cost them. Again, it's a monumental mistake. And I think he has to be relieved of his duties immediately if they don't get into the knockout round.
Pitch Monday, bro.
What?
John Slugs asking Skeens didn't pitch. Why? Skeens pitched Monday, bro.
Yeah, and you're only allowed. Yeah, there are pitching restrictions in pool play and everything.
I mean,
obviously they were.
2 days ago.
What?
They pitched them 5 innings 2 days ago. They don't start them on back-to-back nights.
No.
I do have a question.
By the way, real quick, before you give me a question, I'm going to tell you right now it's going to happen because the game just started. Mexico's going to win that game 1-0 or 2-1 or 3-2. I guarantee it. And they have a handshake agreement already. Because that's what happens. They both get in and they get to eliminate one of the best teams in the tournament. I guarantee you that Mexico wins that game 3-2, 2-1, or 1-0.
That was going to be the question. If you are them, you are Mexico or Italy, like, why would you even, like, it's a win-win scenario for you. You both get in, and the USA would be eliminated, which is, who was the odds-on favorite to win the whole thing there. So, like, why wouldn't you have that agreement in place beforehand?
Exactly what's going to happen.
I feel like I don't disagree, and I wouldn't be surprised if that happened behind closed doors. But
Any pass just hit a home run. Why not in Italy?
I think for normal sake, I would say I would hope they at least play the first couple innings for real, and then to Gene's point, then if it starts to get dicey, it's like, all right, like, okay, we're both in, like, let's not get out of hand here, and then you could start seeing the screw job happen. Could be really interesting. So, be really curious to see where the game is in like the fifth inning, because like Gene said, if it's a really low scoring game, then you might start seeing some crazy strikeouts and stuff like that, and then then all hell's going to break loose.
The other question I had, and actually Hooper fans just threw it out there, with this, manager, Mark DeRosa, I'm not too familiar there with him, but what would have been like the rationale behind not having a major league manager coaching? Are there restrictions, or I guess what's the deal with that?
Because they're getting ready for the MLB season.
So there's no restrictions. There's that part of it, and you have to. So De La Rosa's been with USA Baseball for a while. He did used to play in the major leagues. He was, an average player, above average, maybe a little bit. But USA Baseball as a whole isn't just the World Baseball Classic. So back in the day, like when they used to play in the Olympics, it was always college kids. So like there is like a whole like developmental side to it. He's just been the head coach, for the last couple big tournaments like this. To Gene's point, I don't think there's no restriction saying a major league manager couldn't do it. But again, they're getting their teams ready. Like you got to make decisions on who's going to make teams, who's going to get cut, who's starting in the minors. This is pretty much a full-time, job once this thing gets going. So, I just don't think that the timing and the scheduling of it would work out for any major league manager to do it. And Dave Roberts sucks as a coach, so he wouldn't be a good answer either.
I mean, I don't disagree that they should have a better manager, by the way. I actually agree with you. They should have. You can go out and get like a retired manager to manage.
Gabe Kepler was the one that came to mind when you talked about the season actually being in right now.
It bothers me so much that one of the most stacked rosters in the World Baseball Classic, and what everyone tunes in to watch, like the games that they're playing are getting like 10 times the amount of ratings than the other games are. And you're just sitting there, don't even notice scenarios. You get like they were 8-8-0. The game's 8-6. They were down 8-0. And he had Clayton Kershaw warming up in a game they had to win.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we were at BP last night. We had it on. Like, and people were going nuts. Like, people are really into it. And again, I hate to say it. Like, this is going to be. It's like a top 10 thing. Like, this would be like the dream team not making knockout in the Olympics. Like, that's what it is.
It's very similar.
That's how big this is.
The other one last question that I have for you guys regarding this, because I'm sure you guys saw it, especially being in Philly. Bryce Harper had a quote about the World Baseball Classic and basically said, like, the World Baseball Classic is cool, but, I'd rather play in the Olympics. Like, I think the Olympics are, going to be bigger. Like, it's one thing to fight for your country in the World Baseball Classic, but fighting for your country in the Olympics for a gold medal is going to be a bigger thing there. Do you guys agree with that statement? Do you, one, do you guys agree with the statement? But then two, as far as that goes, do you think there's any chance that the guys, and again, this isn't me like projecting on them, but do you think there's any chance that, they weren't looking at this as the, kind of end all be all, especially with, seeing Scooble leave early and then Bryce ultimately making that quote there?
I think, yeah, you're right. I think that the Americans are pressing too much. And just to be clear, Bryce Harper, keep wearing the not elite shirts, keep talking to the media about talking about all this stuff about getting the Olympics, keep doing A, B, and C, and keep coming up with an opportunity to tie the game in the 8th inning and hitting a weak fly ball to left. Do me a favor, Bryce. Go be elite on the baseball field, and then I'll care about what the fuck you got to say again. I don't care what Bryce Harper has to say right now about the World Baseball Classic, why he's batting 200 and why there's runners on 1st and 3rd and he's going against a fucking double-A pitcher from Italy and he can't get a hit to continue the inning. I don't care that, you're going against 17-year-olds and you're batting 200 in the WBC. I think Bryce Harper needs to shut up and focus on baseball. That'd be a great idea.
Was not expecting that.
I don't think one has anything to do with the other. I'll agree with you. He's not playing well. I mean, I'm not going to argue that, but I think he was asked a direct question, and I agree with him. I mean, I think it's very, very, very few people get the chance to go to the Olympics and win a medal. So, and then obviously the way it used to be, once you turn professional in anything, you couldn't go to the Olympics. And obviously they've now made exceptions for hockey and for basketball and stuff like that for the big team sport. So, and golf obviously now, but I don't have a problem with his answer at all. I would agree with him. I totally agree. Like I would say the World Baseball Classic's great, but if you're giving me the choice between the two, I would rather have the opportunity to win a gold medal. Yeah. Like that's a once in a lifetime thing. The World Baseball Classic's like every 2 years. So I don't have a problem with his answer. I think most people would probably agree.
That's an interesting take. Can I ask you another question?
Sure.
If you were a soccer player, would you much rather win the World Cup or the Olympics?
It's a good question, Gene.
It's yeah. I mean, the World Cup's the holy grail, but I mean, I would tell you they prepare the same way for the Olympics. What gets
more publicized?
World Cup.
World Cup, but I would say it's probably closer than you think.
The other reason too is that the Olympics, they haven't quite caught, they still send the young guys to the Olympics for soccer. I think, Gene, that's a very fair question. I think on the flip side though, I think you would ask, I look at it that was one of the first things I thought of, but then I also thought of the flip side of it to where I was thinking about it. If you're a hockey fan, what's more important, Four Nations or the Winter Olympics? Because that's really kind of, I would say, a closer comparison. I agree with you that I think both are a fair comparison, but I just looked at that one on the NHL side because you actually have the professionals playing on both sides of it. And Four Nations was absolutely incredible last year, and then of course the Olympics, it was incredible there as well. But I think that's kind of the game you got to play here. You gave the great analogy with soccer, but I think with hockey, it just depends on where you fall.
Okay. I would think the World Cup would be by far, and I think the World Baseball Classic is the World Cup of baseball right now. Obviously if you get MLB players in the Olympics and that becomes a bigger thing, then yeah, I get it. And I don't disagree with Bryce's sentiment about he's trying to put more light, let's get Major League Baseball in the Olympics. And I understand the concept of what he's saying. The World Baseball Classic right now needs to be publicized and promoted positively. For Bryce to poo-poo it, I don't like that. I think it's a shitty answer. And if I'm being transparent with you, it still doesn't sit well with me us losing the last World Baseball Classic to Japan when Captain America struck out against Shohei Ohtani.
I don't disagree with you, Gene.
I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed that DeRose is that much of a moron and I might be done watching USA baseball for the year because of it. I'm almost rooting for that to happen because I need people in America to wake the hell up about what we just witnessed yesterday. Because like everyone's gonna get off the hook if they make it in, and that's bullshit.
You're not wrong.
You're not. And we talked about Skeens before, so I don't want to necessarily bring it back up. But next week, regardless of whether they get in or we're talking about them not being in, I'll bring up Skeens again next week because I do think that's an important piece of the conversation there as well. Obviously, he wouldn't have been able to pitch against Italy last night. But, I mean, I think I almost wonder, like, what goes into the psyche of, like, hey, best pitcher in the world just basically today I'm out of here. And especially looking at it like I understand.
Scooble, not Skeens.
Scooble. Sorry.
Skeens is staying.
Scooble is what I was talking about. But I just think it's interesting because I get it. You're in a contract year essentially, but also last year, and granted, two different positions because Shohei also hits, but Shohei was in the same boat, didn't have a deal signed yet, and pitched and hit in the Classic and was absolutely incredible. So I just think it's interesting perspectives there.
Yeah, well, Scooble just showed you why he's not Skeens. Hey, call it like it is. Great pitcher.
I hear you.
Dude. It was so yesterday for sports for me was so frustrating for so many levels, and
I can see you in your apartment yelling.
Oh my god. Yes. Embarrassing.
Well, I'm curious about, I mean, we had two strong takes from you with the last two. I'm curious your thoughts on the next story here with Max Crosby reportedly was traded to the Baltimore Ravens for 2 first-round picks, one this year, one next year. And it got reported that Baltimore failed him on his physical and said they said thanks, but no thanks. We'll give you Crosby back. You give us both of our first-round picks back. And the plot thickens because it was reported this morning that the Ravens had turned around and signed Trey Hendrickson to an $112 million 4-year deal. Gentlemen, fair play, foul play. What you got going on here with the Max Crosby situation?
I mean, this is so easy foul play. You know what they did? They negotiated in bad faith. And when they realized they can get Trey Hendrickson and not give up 2 first-round draft picks, the guy who just had meniscus surgery. Oh, sorry. You didn't know he had meniscus surgery when you traded for him? Like, stop it. Even his doctor came out today. Everybody came out today. It was like, he's recovering fine. Nothing is abnormal there. But the Ravens, scumbag move. That's what it was. It's a scumbag move.
For sure.
Not only is it a scumbag move to the Raiders, it's a scumbag move to Max Crosby. And I think that's wrong.
They have a history of doing it. It's not the first time they've done it. I would question the timing of it pretty extensively. Right up to the wire. I don't think it's the best look. When you cancel the trade and then sign a guy that plays the same position just mere hours later to a huge deal. To Gene's point, I think we all know what it is. They'll be able to hide behind saying their doctor said in his opinion it's this, and this, and not do it. I don't know how you can circumvent or take that away. Like I said, it's not the first time they've done it. They've done it a couple other times as well in the past. But I don't think it's a great look for the Ravens. I don't know what the Raiders are going to do now. And then on top of everything else,
they signed a bunch of people with the understanding that Max Crosby would be off the books. Now he's going to go for way less. So John Suggs' comment, do you think their teams offer even less? Absolutely.
Yeah, because the Raiders can't be over the cap. They got to get rid of him.
Well, that's the one thing though. You got to remember that the Raiders came in with $100+ million in cap space, and I get it. They did sign a bunch of people, but they absolutely can still afford to keep Max Crosby at this time frame. I do think, I agree with both you guys that his value is way down. Like I think you went from 2 firsts to maybe a first and a third gets it done, maybe a first and a fourth gets it done. Like I do think his value has gone down there. But honestly, if I'm the Raiders, like I seriously think about keeping him at this point. Like I love, and I know we're about to get into NFL free agency here right after this story, but I love what the Raiders have done so far in free agency, with some of the moves they've made there. And you bring back Max Crosby and you add him to all the pieces that you've added there on defense with Quay Walker and Kobe Dean and all the other pieces there. Like I genuinely love what they've done so far. So
did you have to do that? Did you have to do that?
Well, I mean, I think those are two great signings.
Yeah. You didn't have to mention the latter, bro. I'm still hurt. I'm in mourning.
It's my favorite player. It's not my fault. It almost felt like Howie. Well, I'm not going to get too far into it. We're going to talk.
Like it was hurtful.
It wasn't. There was no ill intentions with that one. I'm just saying I love what the Raiders have done.
Dave Brown signed somewhere else. Can I kick you in the nuts somewhere?
Hey, Devin Bush went to the Bears, so there you go. We both lost the linebacker. But yeah, I like what the Raiders have done so far. I think Max is going to be a welcome addition, and if that offer is significantly less, I would seriously consider just keeping him at least for another year and seeing what he can do. And if you want to still get rid of him, I'd do that for this season or during the season.
Bill, you have any thoughts on
that? Yeah, I mean, I think there's some, strife between him and the front office, and we've talked about Max possibly being traded the last couple years, so it's I don't know how much he wants to be there either. So, can they keep him financially? Yeah, absolutely. Is it probably better for all parties that he gets traded? Probably. But I don't think he's a guy that won't show up and play. So if they can't trade him, because again, to both your guys' points, I don't think I can't trade him for a first and a fifth. Like I'm not giving him away. So if it gets to the point where the Raiders are like, hey, call him up and say, hey, we're not getting what we want for you, and at this point, we think it's better that, you just play here for the year. I think he'll show up and play and do his normal thing. So he doesn't strike me as a guy that's going to sit there and mope and cause a lot of trouble. So I think the Raiders don't get what they want. I think you keep him.
I don't think they're going to keep him. I don't think he's part of the new regime. I love Max Crosby, and I just think it's very obvious what direction they're going to head into.
Would you trade him for a first? I think a first and a fifth to me is no doubt about it. No, but I guess if you go from getting 2 firsts to getting a first and a third, would you trade him like right now?
Depends where the first is. If it's like a first, that's the thing, right? The Ravens' first was what, 17?
14.
14? It's ahead of that. If it's like 10, I can go back because I can get a higher player in the first round. I don't mind going. I want 2 top 100 picks, and I want a first that's higher than the Ravens. And if you're a team in the back half of the draft, I need 2 firsts or a first and a second, early second.
I'm going to say it's going to be tough to go in the front half because the Ravens were a team I felt like that were going after it. Maybe, I don't know cap implications, but like the Rams would be the Rams and the Chiefs. Like I'm thinking of good teams that are ahead of the Ravens right now. As far as like the draft order goes, like I don't know if either of them would be able to do so with the cap and things like that. But like those would be the 2 situations that I feel like would make sense as far as, because if you go get a Max Crosby, you're trying to go after a championship, in my opinion. Like if you're mortgaging your future in that case. Like I don't think it makes sense for a team like the Saints or the Dolphins to go get Max if they're still going to be in a rebuilding phase.
Why not the Bengals?
I mean, they don't like spending money. You telling me they got to spend draft capital and money? Like I I don't know.
I get it. I just look at the situation that they're in. Cowboys have the 12th pick. That's another team that I just
That would
think
make sense.
I hope he doesn't go to the Cowboys, but they're definitely teams I can consider moving for him.
Afford him though?
What'd you say?
Can they afford him?
They just give him like $100 million signing bonus, sign him to 2-year, $10 million a year deal or whatever. Against
I
the
think
cap.
they gotta change some of that shit. I just think it's too easy to change certain things. Like I think you should be able to restructure a guy one time. That's it.
I don't disagree with you.
Like they just these teams sign these irresponsible contracts and they go, all right, dude sucks. Like we have no cap room now for the next 2 years. And now like the next year he's like his base salary goes from 40 to 1.5 and they write him a check for like $38 million. Like that's just like I feel like what's the point of a salary cap at that point? Then just let people pay people what they want to pay them.
You're not
There's
wrong.
structure to it. There's loopholes like everywhere.
Guys, let's get into free agency.
You get into free agency.
Okay, I will.
All right.
Top free agents off the board. Trey Hendrickson signed with the Baltimore Ravens. Tyler Linderbaum with the Las Vegas Raiders. Looks like they're going to start working on that interior offensive line. Jalen Phillips, massively overpaid by the Carolina Panthers. Alec Pierce, another one, massively overpaid by the Indianapolis Colts. Your thoughts on some of the big free agents going off the board and the cost of them so far?
I was upset that I saw Phillips left until I saw the contract. And I was like, just no part of me ever wants to pay that. The Pierce one's nuts because of what it triggered after that and them turning around and trading Michael Pittman. Like that whole thing to me is odd. And then, I mean, they paid Danny Dimes today.
His agent needs to be in the Hall of Fame. First ballot. Him right next to Sam Bradford's agent.
And Kirk Cousins' agent. They all got to be all right next to each other, same wing.
It's insane. It's insane that guy gets hurt. It's another leg injury, gets another $50 million contract. It's insane.
I think that the way the whole Indianapolis thing in general played out to me was very surprising. Like you said, to way overpay Pierce. Like I don't think anybody was even thinking about throwing those types of numbers at him. And then you turn around and trade your other good wide receiver within the AFC. It was that whole situation, the way that played out was weird to me.
The Patriots were really high on Alec Pierce. They were offering him big money.
That's what I was going to say.
They were
not necessarily the Patriots, but I know there were teams. Like I think the Colts are more of the mindset, like whatever you get, let us know and we'll match it. Like what's the Giants GM's name where he was trying to get Saquon to do it?
Oh God, yeah.
I feel like that. Yeah, I feel like that's more so what the conversation was, because I agree with you guys. Alec Pierce is way overpaid. Like he's getting top 9, top 8, top 9 receiver money in all of football average per year. He definitely doesn't belong in that category there. But I also
think top 8 receivers. Alec Pierce, right up there next to Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Amon St. Brown, Puka Nacua.
Right in there.
Slides right in there.
No, but I do think that was the price to pay to get him to stay. And ultimately, if the Colts aren't believers of Michael Pittman Jr., which I think that kind of shows you with them just saying, hey, go to Pittsburgh, we'll take a late pick from them and we'll call it even. I mean, the receiver position right now is at a premium. I think a lot of receivers got overpaid. And we talked about this years ago when Christian Kirk got overpaid, but he was such a big help to that Jacksonville Jaguars team. And I look at other signings even this year, like Jalen Naylor got $39 million from a team. Like that's ridiculous for a guy that's going to be your number 3 receiver at best. You're giving him $13 million a year. Like I think that's crazy. So I just think the market right now is absolutely ridiculous for receivers. And the Colts were in a situation where it was like, hey, we either have to overpay him or we're going to end up overpaying somebody else who we're going to hope that they can even be an inkling of what Pierce or Pittman were to us the past couple of years.
It's like they always say, when you become a free agent, it's more important than anything else.
It's insane how Jalen Naylor gets 11 and like almost $12 million a year, and Saquon Barkley was fighting to get $12 million. It's insane how that is different. John, I want to cover a couple of your questions. I actually don't mind Tua to the Falcons. He's a left-handed quarterback. You don't have to change the scheme of the offense when Penix gets hurt. You have an accurate quarterback that can run your style offense if Penix doesn't work out. I actually think that's like the spot where like you go into the season knowing Penix is your guy, but you don't have to flip-flop the entire offense if Penix is hurt. You have another left-handed quarterback as a very similar style quarterback too. Penix obviously has the bigger arm, but Tua is more accurate. So Tua can show Penix how the offense should be run in the short game, and you can use Penix's athleticism and arm talent to kind of take that offense over the top. So I don't mind that. Second, you said a comment earlier about my thoughts on Kevin Byard, the Pats signing Kevin Byard. Look, man, he's good in scheme. He was really good in Tennessee. And look, he was very good in that Chicago scheme last year, but he's not going to play coverage. So hopefully that Pats defense is a lot more zone and a lot more allowing him to run free. He obviously knows the game. He knows where to be, but in the same respect, he's not anywhere near the athlete he was 4 years ago. So, and what up, Pete? What up? So back to regular free agency. Any moves that you liked, moves that you didn't like? I'll tell you a move I didn't like. It bothers me to my soul, but the Georgia boys are back together. That video I showed when the Kobe Dean was drafted of him yelling at the linebacker on the fourth down stop, that happens to be Quay Walker. And those two who have experience playing next to each other are now reuniting in Las Vegas to be the new heart of that Raiders defense. The Kobe Dean is a severely underrated sign. I thought he was the smartest player on the Eagles defense last year. He was incredible. He made a lot of huge plays. I think he's going to be a superstar for years to come, and it sucks letting him walk out the door. What you had there, you kind of had to let him walk out the door, but it bothers me. And then losing another one half of the exciting whites to the Houston Texans, it's another great move for Houston.
Yeah, I think Houston's had a sneaky good free agency so far. I agree with you on Dean. I just don't know. I feel, to your point, I feel like our hands are kind of tied with that one. His production isn't his issue. Like you said, it's him staying on the field. When he's on the field, he stands out. He's a great player. He's a great athlete. It's just his availability. But that one sucks. Sad to see Reed go. I think Houston, overpaid a little bit for him, though. The other one we talked about, which I thought was a good move, I thought Kenneth Walker going to the Chiefs was a good move. I think that allows them to concentrate on drafting offensive linemen, and they need cornerbacks now too. But, I think that was a good move for them, not have to go draft a rookie running back, and they can concentrate on protecting Patrick now. So I thought that was a solid move. I don't hate Pacheco going to Detroit either. I think he'll be okay there in spots, and the way they get their quarterback or the running backs in space, I think he'll be successful there.
Couple moves that I like. You guys aren't. Oh, go ahead, Gene.
I just wanted to make a comment on the Romeo Doubs point. $17 million a year for Romeo Doubs is insane. I don't think his mother thinks he's worth $17 million a year.
I mean, if Naylor's worth 12, 13, then maybe he is.
I got news.
But you're right. You're right, though. You're right.
Jalen Naylor is a better receiver in the next 3 years than Romeo Doubs.
Wow, that's the bold take.
I think Jalen Naylor is super underrated. You're talking about a guy that played behind Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. Of course, he didn't see the targets, but he jumps off the page with his speed. He jumps off this page with his athleticism. He's going to be the number 2 over there in Las Vegas. I think he'll be just fine. Romeo Doubs is absolutely a jag, just another guy. He is an average receiver. He does not have above average anything. Not above average hands, not above average route running, not above average anything, not above average speed. He is a jag. And guess what? If you're the New England Patriots, you have 4 of those already. You got Backpack Mac. You have Keyshawn Booty. You have Pop Douglas. Like, what is Romeo Doubs? I would start all 3 of those guys over Romeo Doubs. Sorry, just giving my Romeo Doubs rant.
I mean, I was just going to say, as far as moves that I like, speaking of former Seahawks, you guys got one in Rick Woolen. Like, I think you got a bona fide number 2 there to go alongside Quinyon and, Cooper. I think that's going to be special for you guys. Of course, curious to see what else you kind of fill in through free agency with a lot of the pieces that you've lost. But another move that I like, you talk about the Panthers overpaying Jalen Phillips. Well, I think he's a good addition for them. I do think it's an overpay, but them bringing in Devin Lloyd in that linebacker room, like I think the Panthers are up to something. And again, I do think it's overpaying, but at the same time, when you still have a quarterback on a rookie deal, like you kind of have the luxury to overpay certain positions there. So I like what the Panthers have done so far in free agency as far as that defense goes, and I think the Panthers are in a good spot. Another one that I saw somebody mention was about Mike Evans. Mike Evans leaving Tampa and going to San Francisco. I think that's a move that's a little questionable. I don't know what the fit's going to, because I don't know what the fit's ultimately going to be like with him in San Francisco. Obviously, I know they're going to be losing Ayuk, and Jawan Jennings hasn't been re-signed yet. But Mike Evans was big part of what he was a big part of that Tampa Bay offense. And if he was looking to get out of that because he wanted more targets and wanted to have a chance to win, at this stage in his career, like I don't know if he's still ready to be like a true number 1 receiver for a team outside of the Tampa Bay system. Like that's why I have question marks with the move.
Saigon said he's happy for all the former Seahawks that got the bag. No love lost here. I'll tell you what. You talked about the former Seahawks that got the bag, and one signed for, less than his market, in my opinion, in Philadelphia, in Rick Woolen. And I think that tells you how immature you think that defensive coaches think he is. He has a lot of lowlights, right? He's got a lot of highlights. He's really good in certain style schemes. But Rick Woolen is definitely a guy that's going to piss off some Eagles fans by jumping for routes and getting burnt over the top. He's definitely a bonehead at times. His athleticism makes up for it, and his hips are incredible, the way he can burst in for inward cuts and post and things of that nature. That'll really help a guy like Andrew Makubu, who's going to have to get real familiar in that secondary quick. So, and Saigon, you being a Seahawks fan, what are your thoughts on Rick Woolen to the Eagles? I'd love to hear it, because the Eagles have had a terrible free agency, and now there are talks of trading Jalen Carter. They're not re-signing him. You're not putting that much money in your defensive tackle room. Make use of Rick. Yeah, I mean, we're going to try.
Bona fide number 2, so.
I mean, Cooper's gets to play the slot now. That's kind of what you wanted him to do. You got Quinyon and Cooper in that 1 and 3 role. Cooper's the best slot in football, so that helps a ton. It's not close either. He's the best slot in football. It's not close. But with that being said, we'll see how it all plays out. You're thinking of a slot that could be compete with Cooper, aren't you?
I'm trying to think off the top of my. I mean, the only 2 that come to mind are McDuffie, but he's been playing outside now, and then
he signed to play outside for the Rams. That's what trade's for.
For sure. And then the other one would only be coverage. Cooper's better all around. Taron Johnson is incredible in the slot.
Yeah.
Which another good move for the Raiders. But yeah, no, very well
I think
may
they're
be
ready
the
for a
case.
hell of a free agency. They still need
I
to
agree.
bolster our offensive line, though. Just signing Tyler Linderbaum is not all you have to do. You have to get a guard. You have to get a tackle. They have to.
Well, the nice thing, though, is that they have Colton Miller can play. You have Linderbaum, and I imagine they were banking on having that second first round pick there, where they were going to probably go offensive line to shore it up. But yeah, I mean, I definitely think they need to make more pieces, get more pieces on the offensive line, but they got at least somewhat 2 out of 5 is not bad when you still have more money to play with and you still have the draft coming up.
What are your thoughts of JPJ, Jackson Powers Jackson?
Good player. It just doesn't make sense that
Johnson.
they're going to have to move him.
This is
They're going to have
also
to move
a
him.
halftime move. Did you see that Geno Smith signed back with the Jets?
Yeah.
The team that wrote him off.
Either that or go probably be a backup somewhere. I mean, those were his options.
Where do you guys think Kyler ends up again? I said Minnesota.
Yeah, the more we wait and the more positions start to get filled, I mean, I think Minnesota is looking like the likely situation.
I don't know where else we would even go at this point.
Pittsburgh would be on the table if Aaron doesn't come back.
Yeah, I would love to see Mike McCarthy coaching Kyler Murray.
I'm trying to think of anywhere else.
Could go to the Raiders.
Could go to the Raiders.
Oh,
Raiders did say they don't want to. The Raiders openly said they didn't want to start Fernando right away. Like they were looking to bring in a vet. So regardless of if you believe in them or not, like the Raiders want to slow play it with Mendoza. So I do think the Raiders would make sense there.
Kyler's not a vet that you bring in. Because Kyler could be an elite quarterback if you get the right coaching around him. He's not a vet that you bring in. He's not Gardner Minshew.
I don't disagree with you. I just think for the money, you kind of have the situation that you had with Darnold and McCarthy. Like Darnold came in, lit it up, and you're like, we got JJ back here, but Sam just went out and won 13 games, and you had to make your decision. So I mean, I think they could look at that and say, hey, if that's the position that we're in, we win 13 games, and we're forced to make a decision whether we want to keep Mendoza or sign Kyler to a big time contract. Like I think those are problems that you want to have if you're an organization.
Why would
Or
the
you just
Saints
don't draft Mendoza?
Why would what?
Why would the Saints do anything to move on from that guy? You're crazy. He played great down the stretch, man. Tyler Shuck was incredible. Probably should have won Offensive Rookie of the Year.
He's not one. You got to put a team around him and see what he is.
Who's got trivia this week?
I know I won last week.
It's me then. Good thing I have one.
Bro, I was so like, I know it wasn't me exactly. Question.
All right. Well, we're going to stay with baseball. But we're going to switch it up. We're going to go to pitchers this week.
Okay.
Get my thinking cap on.
Let me get this comment out the way because it's a good comment. You slow play Fernando off the jump. They should be drafting it. They shouldn't be drafting him in the first place. You don't go out and spend all this cash in free agency just to tank. Fernando is that guy, and anyone who doesn't think so, feel bad for him.
Okay. Come back this time next year.
I like Fernando. I'm with you, Pete. I'm a Fernando believer. Fernando and Joe Hendry.
For what it's worth, I don't dislike Fernando. I don't
dislike him either. I was not
like
taking
the
number
idea.
one.
I dislike the idea of him first overall.
I believe in Fernando.
Joe Hendry's way more of a sure thing.
All right, comments are off, fellas. Sorry.
Here we go. Top 10 active career strikeout leaders.
Okay.
Cottrell, you won last week. You go first.
All right, I will take Mr. Justin Verlander.
He is number one overall. with 3,553 strikeouts.
Mad Max still active? Like active as of last year, right?
Yep.
Max Scherzer.
Max Scherzer's number 2 with 3,489.
All right, so it's active as of last year. Then.
Yep.
Okay, Clayton Kershaw.
I knew you were going to steal that.
He's number 3. 3,052.
You're a scumbag for stealing.
I'm glad you made the clarification because I knew
I didn't know if Max signed anywhere yet. So, like,
I actually think he's under contract somewhere.
Well, he pitched for Toronto last year, so. Okay. I mean, he's been hurt a ton, but he's got to be in the top 10. Give me Jacob deGrom.
Jacob deGrom is not in the top 10.
That's crazy. He's been hurt that much.
Okay. Let me go through some guys here.
Gotta go by division.
That's exactly what I'm trying to do. Oh, I got one. My favorite guy to throw out there for Cy Young every year. I'm gonna go with Garrett Cole.
I noticed that you said it. Garrett Cole's number 5.
That's a good one. That's a really good one. Damn.
There's one more pretty obvious one. Then they get a little.
I mean,
get a little surprising.
Chris Sale would be my next pick. I think he's the obvious one if that's what you're referring to.
Is that your pick?
Yes, Chris Sale.
Chris Sale is number 4 with 2,579. So you guys got Cottrell's up 3-2. You guys have 1 through 5 on the list.
All right, because I'm up 3-2, I think I can play a little bit riskier. I remember we had the conversation maybe a year or two ago, and we were talking about when this guy's career would end. And I forgot what the number was we were talking about with strikeouts, but it was pretty up there. I'm going to go with Aaron Nola.
Oh.
Aaron Nola is number 10.
Whew.
I was picking one of the two Phillies next. That's why I gave you the I was taking Nola or Wheeler. I think they're really close. If Nola's 10, I think I'll go Zach Wheeler.
Zach Wheeler's not on the list.
So no deGrom, no Wheeler. Okay.
We got 6, 7, 8, and 9.
All right. I don't remember how long his actual peak was per se, but he was active last year. I'm going to go with Walker Buehler.
Walker Buehler is not on the list.
Going to teams looking for old people. Give me an old person. Give me an old person. Let's go with not Cole. Kevin Gausman.
Kevin Gausman is number 8.
What a pull.
Old pitcher.
Kevin Gausman's only 34.
Not old. He's not Skeens.
He probably doesn't have enough years at this point, but I'm going to go with Corbin Burns.
Corbin Burns is not on the list.
It's actually not a bad guess. Give me Yu Darvish.
Yu Darvish is number 7.
Oh man. You Soldier Boy up in this. Is it 4-4 now?
Yep, 2 left. If you guys tie, then we'll just go best guess who's the next closest.
I'm gonna go with.
Got a headache, bro.
Is he still playing?
Yes, he's still playing. Whoever you're about to say.
I don't know if he's still playing. I'm gonna go with Cueto.
Who?
Johnny Cueto.
Johnny Cueto.
I think it's hard
No.
2 years ago.
No.
Blake Snell.
Nope.
Snell's a good guess.
I'm just going through pitching stats right now. How gettable are these last two?
One's really tough. Like I'll be 100% honest. I don't think I would pull the one. The other one, he's still a very good pitcher.
Is the one gettable with a hint?
Which one?
The one
The
that's
one
tough.
you said that you wouldn't pull. If you wouldn't pull it, I don't know if I'm pulling it. You definitely have me in baseball.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the hit would be though.
I mean, I don't know when you want hints. Gene.
Take it now, bro. You're first.
I'm about to say because I got
I'm
nothing
kind of lost
right now.
brother. I don't want to. I'll take it now.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So the one guy just signed with an American League team this year. Started in the American League, went to the National League for a long time. He's back in the American League. And then the other guy, Jesus Christ, he's pitched for a lot of teams. Wow, he actually pitched for us. I don't even remember that.
Who's he most notable pitching for?
See, that's where it's tough. The hard guy, I would say. I would say either Atlanta or Houston.
Atlanta or Houston.
Okay.
I could give you one hint, but one of you will get it immediately if I do it. So I can't say it.
Atlanta or Houston? Atlanta. This is the hard guy? Atlanta or Houston?
Atlanta or Houston's the hard guy.
Okay.
He's literally pitched on like 5 or 6 different teams.
Who's
Okay.
the other guy most notable we pitched for?
He started with Oakland. That's the hint I'll give you for the other guy.
Okay.
I know who that is. I think I know who that is.
Started with Oakland. That's going to be
American, National American. I know who that is. I know who it is. Give me the timer. Come on, I know who it is.
All right.
We got a sheet now.
So, you got 10 seconds starting right now.
As soon as I know, we have to cheat. That's what we have to do.
Started in Oakland.
Yeah.
Need an answer, sir.
I got nothing.
Gene, you're up.
There's a TV show named after it. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Sonny Gray.
They're going to have Grey's Anatomy. Sonny Gray is one of them.
Had
Just
to be the guy
signed
that
with-
started in Oakland. and he just signed in the American League.
He just signed with the Red Sox.
I was going to say he's with the Red Sox now, so I didn't even.
He was actually a very high, like phenom kind of draft pick in Oakland. Kind of never put it together. Left. Yep, left. Went a couple other places. Cincy, St. Louis.
I like vaguely remember seeing him in an Oakland uniform, but I would have never got that. Like, you could have gave me as much time in the world, I would have never got that.
Yeah, I remember Sonny Gray. I'll give you a guy, Ryan Tote, blast in the past. He used to do baseball picks for me. And he used to wrote, "It's always sunny in Philadelphia." No, it's always sunny in Oakland. As Sonny Gray takes them out. It was just, I don't know, it sticks with me. So Ryan Tote, if you're listening, you help me with that one.
All right, now this last guy. Atlanta and Houston is like.
I'm just checking the WBC update. Hold on. 2-0 Italy. First and third, one out. Let's go. They get these 2 runs, and we're good. If they get to 4-0, we're good.
Nola throwing a gem.
Houston and Atlanta. What the hell?
I have zero guess, brother. None.
No, like I got nothing for this one.
Drafted by Atlanta, was only there for a year. The team he's played for the most was Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh?
That doesn't help me at all.
Not at all.
Was at Pittsburgh for like 6 or 7 years, and then he went to.
I'm gonna start embarrassing myself saying names that just aren't like. Dude, you have no idea the name just went through my head. It's crazy. I'm like, oh, that's a stupid guess.
Okay, continue, Bill. And then went to.
And then he got into his Houston and Atlanta. What?
You could probably give me his last name. I wouldn't get him.
Then he went into his Houston and Atlanta days. He's pitching a couple World Series.
I mean,
he's pitching a couple World Series.
You pitch in Atlanta and Houston. I'm not surprised by that.
No. Anybody have a guess out there? Anybody? I don't know. I'm lost. My chat journal. I don't even know why I said that.
Somebody in the chat has it.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Control, look.
You could look. We'll go to overtime, man. Yeah, Suggs has it.
No idea. Zero idea.
I don't even know. Like, I'm trying to like put together people who like played in.
He's definitely the toughest name on the list by a mile.
I don't have a clue, bro.
10 seconds.
No.
Problem is, the only other hit I can give you, Gene will get it in less than a second.
Well, that's why you give it when it's my turn, so then I can take it before he gets it.
Yeah, but you probably won't get it. Like it, Gene will know it as soon as it comes out of my mouth, and if you don't get it, then it's over. Because if it goes,
give it to him. I would rather him buy it. I can't sit here and I have no clue, bro.
I have literally not one idea who this person is right now.
All right, I just want to verify one thing before I say it.
Played for the Braves, the Pirates,
the Astros.
In the Astros?
Played for a ton of teams, apparently. He said he played for the Phillies.
He did pitch for the Phillies for like half a year.
And I had no idea who it is. I'm about to say Pedro Martinez. I'm kidding.
What the hell? What? And this guy's still pitching? And you said he's good?
I never said he was good.
I thought you said he was good.
All right, you want the hit that Gene's going to get it immediately?
Yep.
Since he was trashing this guy earlier. Bryce Harper hit a huge home run off this guy in 2022 in the bottom of the 8th of a playoff game.
All right. I think this is gettable. This is gettable.
I can remember the call and everything. It's hilarious.
It was 2022. Phillies.
I'll give you
Bottom
a
of
hint.
the 8th in what game?
I'll give you a hint. It wasn't the Padres game.
Wasn't the Padres game. 2022.
It's for the Braves, right, Bill?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it is. Because everybody thinks of the 8th inning home run Harper hit versus the Padres. So if you're looking for that relief pitcher, you're not.
Yeah, it's not that one.
I know who it is.
I got nothing. This is Gene's to take it.
I can't believe he's in the top 10. Charlie Morton?
Yep.
That's crazy. I can't believe he's in the top 10. You know, I was about to guess Robbie Ray.
So funny. It was funny because you kept saying, hold on. Whoops.
Tony Gladstone.
So crazy thing is, as much as DeGrom's been hurt, he's 12. As much as Wheeler's been hurt, he's 13. And Robbie Ray's 15.
Wow. I didn't do bad. I
Started
had
off
like
hot.
11, 12, and 15.
Who was 11?
11 is Patrick Corbin. I wouldn't have
Yeah.
got that
I
either.
called 13 and 15 then.
Yeah. I'm trying to think who else you guys. Yeah,
Charlie
Blake
Morton.
Snell.
He
Blake
played-
Snell was 20th. I don't know if you
played
guys.
for the Rays, right? Too.
Who?
Morton.
He's played for half the Major League Baseball team.
We need one hit from Italy to secure our spot. Because if they get the 4, Mexico has to score 5 to win. So we're in. Yeah, I know.
Right.
We need a hit, bro. I literally have it in the background.
That's excellent. That's excellent news.
What? Bases loaded 3-0. We need a hit. Ricky need another hit. Ricky need another hit real bad. Ricky need a hit like a crackhead need a hit. Name that skit, by the way.
Damn.
I stole a win. I thought I was not winning. You were up 4-2. I got lucky.
I would have never got Gaussman. I would have got you. I just would have had to think about that a little bit more.
I guessed you because I knew he's been in the major leagues for a long time and he strikes a lot of people out.
Yeah.
Gosman, I guess, because I thought of old pitchers. Like I remember him pitching for a million teams, the Braves, the Orioles. Like Gosman's pitched everywhere.
Yeah, Gaussman. I for sure wouldn't have got Gaussman, and I wouldn't have got Morton.
We need one hit or a walk. Walk would be good. It's 3-1 count. Come on. Come on. Chris Rock, that's correct. He was talking about who, though? Ricky needed another hit. Who was he talking about? Ricky needed another hit real bad. Ricky needed a hit like a crackhead needed a hit. All right, we got to move. Chow, you with us? You awake?
I'm ready, bro.
All right. Anything else NFL free agency? That's damn right, Ricky Martin. Anything else? NFL free agency before we move on?
No, I mean, there's still, I think Kyler's probably the biggest name left. I think it's a small pool of where he's going. So, I don't know how many other really big dominoes have to fall. Should be more curious to see if there's any other trades, I guess.
Bradley Chubb signed a 3-year deal with the Buffalo Bills. Let's go! 5-0. The Americans advance. Mexico cannot win the game with 6 runs, and the Americans do not advance. So I was wrong about, and I don't know why Italy and Mexico didn't conspire, but whatever.
I'll take it.
DeRosa can jump down off the bridge now.
It says 4-0. Am I tripping?
That's still good.
Yeah, it's still good. We're gonna get into the players. We got that. You want to do the players real quick, or do you want to wait till the end of college baseball or college basketball? God, I want to do MLB. We just talked about MLB. Can we swap those two?
I'm down.
Shall you
Got
down?
my lineup ready.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just making sure.
Flexible.
All right. Let's get into our AL West lineups. I have my lineup. And I think that, by the way, just to be clear, I don't think there's many debatable things here, which is why we did this week, because I think that we're going to need the time on some other divisions, but I think that there's not much debatable here.
I agree. I think I got like maybe 2 or 3 positions that are debatable.
I think it really depends on, I mean, I think it's going to depend on who
Watch.
moves here.
Can I take 3 out right away? I just go bang, bang, bang. No debate.
Center fielder, DH, and catcher?
Yeah, I'm first base. So that's 4.
Okay.
It should be Yordan Alvarez as your DH.
Yep.
The dumper at catcher. Julio Rodriguez is going to be your center fielder, and Nick Kurtz is your first baseman.
Concur.
No arguments, right?
Okay. Kurtz makes sense. I completely forgot he was in the AL West. I got
making sure.
I got Naylor as my first baseman.
No.
Nick
Kurtz might win AL MVP this year.
No,
that's
you're
fine.
right.
Yeah,
you're right. You're 100% right.
Nick Kurtz.
For sure.
All right. It's second base is where it gets fun. I went away from the guy I didn't like. The guy I didn't like should be probably 1, but I went different.
Well, I'm assuming the guy you don't like is
Altuve?
Altuve.
Yeah.
And I do have Altuve.
I have Brendan Donovan. He got traded this year. He's a Seattle Mariners second baseman. I'll go with Brendan Donovan over Altuve. Altuve's reached his peak. He's past prime.
I don't hate the Donovan thing at all. And I almost picked him out of spite as well because I loathe Jose Altuve. I just think his offensive production just still gives him a slight nod. Like, we're putting this lineup together, he's probably hitting somewhere at the bottom, and just to have that like punch down there, I think it's just kind of too hard to pass up.
Okay.
I don't want to disagree with you, but
here we are.
I hate Altuve, bro.
So you guys both have Altuve?
Yeah.
I do have Altuve.
Seager should be your shortstop. Am I?
Yep.
I do have Corey Seager.
I thought that would have been.
Wilson is making a little bit of a push, but he's not Seager.
Who is, you said?
Jacob Wilson.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So then your next one would be third base. And I think this is debatable.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Seager's the shortstop. I have Carlos Correa, who's now in the American League West, as my third baseman, but I wouldn't hate you guys if you had anybody else.
See, I have Isaac Paredes from the Astros at my third base, but I can easily be swayed there.
Damn, I want a flyer here. We're gonna be all different. This is kind of wild. What?
Did you go Jung?
Yep.
Interesting. First time we've had 3 different positions.
Correa's gonna be the best defensively. I mean, he's really a shortstop.
I think Correa is the answer, guys. I'm not trying to sway you guys.
I've always been a big Correa fan. Like I said, I went on a little bit out on a limb just because Correa can't stay healthy.
You're right.
I mean, I don't hate Correa there.
So what's our overall? What are we going with?
Curious though of where are they gonna play these guys?
What do you mean?
The Astros. Like, where are they gonna play everybody in the infield?
I don't know.
Because they got Paredes, they got, obviously, Pena is gonna be your shortstop, but you got Paredes, you got Correa, and you got Pena, like you got Altuve.
Well, Pena's gonna play short. That's where he's
gonna play. I mean,
yeah.
I'm just saying, like, all your infielders there.
I think you actually might see Altuve DH a lot this year, to be honest.
And then where's Jordan's going to first?
Jordan can play first. When he's healthy, he's not a terrible left fielder in that stadium either because it's so small. Yeah, you won't see him play. You won't see him play left field in Seattle, but like in Houston, in Houston or Boston, he can because there's nowhere for him to go.
You're absolutely right.
I mean,
The
I don't hate
outfield, I
Correa.
think. Let's go Correa. The outfield, I think, is easy. I had Julio, Brent Rooker, and Mike Trout.
Same. Brent
I
Rooker
had-
hits bombs.
Rooker is
Yeah.
probably the better answer. I had Langford, J-Rod, and Mike Trout.
He's the next one. He's the next
I had
one.
Wyatt fourth.
Yeah, agree. He's that next one there, or even possibly DH. He's very good. Next year or two, he probably takes Trout's spot.
Yeah. For pitcher, I think this is easy too. I think he's the 5th best pitcher in baseball. And it's funny because he's not even listed as the number 1 pitcher on his own team. But yeah, you know what I'm talking about when I say that? I guarantee neither one of you guys have him as your starting pitcher, but he's absolutely the answer. It's woo, Brian Woo. It's not Kenny Woo, but Brian Woo is 100%.
Kenny Woo, D2.
I got Jacob deGrom as my starting pitcher.
Same.
I'm okay with that. I'm all right with that. Jacob deGrom, healthy, is the best pitcher in the division. He's not really been healthy, but I get it. Brian Woo was better than deGrom last year, though. And Brian Woo was younger. He's got better stuff.
I mean, deGrom, once he got on the field last year, he was pretty nasty the whole year. I don't know if you can do it 2 years in a row. I mean, health is health.
Oh my God!
They are
wait till
damn near identical seasons last year.
Brian Woo was just a little better.
Yeah. 2.94 versus 2.97 ERA and 185 strikeouts versus 198. Like, yeah, that's.
What was the innings pitched?
Let me see. Innings pitched, it looks like Woo had. Why am I not seeing this right now? 165, and Jacob deGrom had
161.
And Jacob deGrom had 147.
So his Ks per 9 will be a little bit higher, but they literally had identical seasons. That's wild.
The closer, I think, is somewhat easy. I don't think it's even debatable. It's Andres Munoz. I don't think that's of the Seattle Mariners.
Bloop, bloop, bloop. I agree.
Yep.
Big boy.
But the funny thing is, this division, this might be the second worst division we've done out of the 3. And it's going to get railroaded. It's going to get destroyed.
It's got a bad seeding.
Bad matchup. Well, it's perfect. The 1 versus the 6.
It's totally it's underseeded.
The funny thing is, though, if they had I'd almost argue if Bregman was still in Houston, this is a team that can compete with.
I'll tell you what this team will do.
People.
This team,
maybe not the NL West, but a lot of other people.
This team will play well together. That's what this team will do.
That team also would grow together because it's a lot of young guys like the Nick Kurtz. Like you can even I guess Seager, but you could throw Jacob Wilson as the backup shortstop. He's young. Brent Rooker. Like I think the A's might win the AL West this year. That's like one of my bold predictions.
You got them like mixed in with Jordan seems like he's been around forever and he's still young, but like you still have you'd have Julio the same way. I mean, I feel like Julio's been in the league forever and he's probably 24.
Yeah.
Be young, but I mean, with DeGrom and Trout and even Dumper, you'd have good leadership on that team too. I think this team would be again, they're not going to beat who they're going to play in the first round. I think they would be a tough out after that, though.
I think that the easiest bet in all of baseball, and guys, if you want to do a future, $500 on this future, I guarantee it cashes. What did you say, Kurtro?
I'm waiting on you to say the A's over for their win total this year.
No, I'm going with the Dumper under his home run total. 0 chance he hits 46 home runs this year. Like 0. I'm actually looking up to make sure. I think it's 46. This is over under. I'm just trying to double check that real quick because I don't want to give somebody the wrong. Guys, keep going. I just want to double check that. I want to.
I mean, yeah, the person who they're ultimately going up against is the NL West next week. Like, they're going to get absolutely slaughtered. But if we're being honest, the NL West is probably going to slaughter a lot of people that come in their path there. So, I mean,
no, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't either. Like, I think
okay.
we're putting. I still think the Dodgers are very top heavy, and obviously those 3 or 4 guys will lead the team. But I think other teams as a whole are going to be better across the board.
Can I ask this question? Can we put players anywhere we want to put them?
It's funny because it's literally just going through my head where we're going to put him next week.
It's like if you put Bryce in right field or left field, whatever, and you go Bryce, Soto, and Acuna as your outfield, it's the best outfield in any division. So the question I was asking is, can I put Bryce in the outfield? Because if I put Bryce in the outfield, I get to start Matt Olson at first base, and I have the best outfield by far.
If that's the case, I think that opens up a lot.
Yeah, but Bryce played outfield, and he's open to going back to the outfield.
He hasn't played it in a year and a half, though. I see. I wasn't even talking about Bryce. I was talking about Shohei.
See, I thought about Mookie because I think the infield is about to be loaded for the NL West. Then you can just throw guys in there.
Can Mookie go in the outfield?
He's a shortstop now.
So if we're doing that, we have to make that very clear now. Is Bryce staying in the infield? Mookie stays in the infield.
Yeah, I think it has to be based upon where they played last year.
Okay, that's fair. Because the outfield of Soto, Acuna, and Harper, I mean, it wouldn't be the best defensive outfield in the world.
My question is, did Harper play in the outfield at all any games in the outfield at all last year?
No.
Since he's come back, he's been predominantly a first baseman.
I don't know if Mookie, like off the top of my head, if he played any games in the outfield. Like I feel like there should be some sort of designation, like how we had Trout in right field this year, although he's moving back to center field. But he played right, half of last year when he wasn't DHing. So like, I feel like we got to have some stipulation.
I think the outfield's the outfield. Like I don't care if
I agree with that. I don't think you have to pigeonhole them to like right, left, or center. But if they're predominantly in the outfield, you can put them anywhere in the outfield you want. I agree with that.
All right, cool. Sounds like a plan.
But like Mookie played almost all the games last year at shortstop, so he's gonna be a shortstop.
That's gonna be interesting. See who gets left off.
But see, that's where you gotta get strategic.
You could put Mookie.
What?
You could put Mookie at second.
No.
Why? Why couldn't you do
played
that?
Shortstop all year. You can't go start mixed match positions.
All right.
Like now, if we come to the point where we don't think Mookie's a starting shortstop, then it's like, okay, like then you just so I was saying with Shohei, like, do you make him the pitcher? Because then you could make Mookie the DH to keep his bat. Like,
yeah, I'm not making Shohei the pitcher though. Not when I have Yasamura Yamamoto that's throwing absolute gas. Shohei's no Yamamoto.
I was just using an example.
I know, I'm kidding, bro.
Might have. I mean, depending on how important the game is, I might have Shohei pitch and be my DH. I might put him in both slots.
You have to. You have to. They only have 9 spots to play. So if he pitches, he has to be your DH. Like you follow what I'm saying?
I mean, in a traditional sense, yes, but I'm saying like in how we're doing these lineups here, we haven't had any of our pitchers as our DH.
Yeah, exactly. So that would be 10 people. So if you use Shohei as your pitcher, he can't hit in your lineup. I think it's a significant disadvantage.
Well, he can hit my lineup. I want him to.
It's fair, but you can't have you can't have two people. So Yamamoto's off the roster.
I get what you're saying. Like, you can't have two pitchers. I get that.
Right. All right. Anything World Baseball Classic related we want to touch on? Because it's been fun. I got to give credit where credit is due. By the way, did anybody see the end of the Korea-Australia game? That was wild. Or Japan-Australia. Or Korea-Australia. Sorry.
I did not know.
So
I don't think I did.
Korea needed to win by 5 runs. Australia needed to keep it within 4 for the tiebreaker. Australia made it within 4 on the bottom of the 8th. And then Korea made it 5 again in the top of the 9th. It was a lot of fun. It was a 7-2 game that was way more exciting than it should have been.
I remember seeing the highlights because like everyone was cheering, like going crazy. And it was like they cut the lead down to 4 or whatever. And I remember seeing it on Twitter, like people were confused. They were like, I'm not a World Baseball Classic like follower or whatever. Like, why is everyone so excited that they're only down by 4 now? So I do remember seeing that.
Vinny Espresso hit a home run, 6-0 Italy. So we're in, guys. We're in. Kyler visiting with the Vikings tomorrow. Not shocked. Shally, would you like to give a statement on the Dominicans?
What do you mean?
Oh, you were kind of off on them. You said they didn't pitch well, and they've just been dominating everyone.
I mean, I also think their pool is weaker in general. I didn't say they weren't going to pitch well. I said they don't have the depth of the Americans. I don't like I'll take the pitchers. I'll take America's staff over there. Like compared to their batting lineup, their pitching staff is the weaker link. And instead of throwing Joe Schmoes out there.
Game. No, they're throwing Alcantara today. Yeah, they have a very good staff. I think their lineup has been raking. Outside the first 5 innings of their first game, they really started. When they started hitting, it was contagious. Where the American lineup is still, a work in progress.
They're definitely playing more stress-free baseball than America is. I'll tell you that much.
I don't know how you get comfortable. Like the Dominicans lineup has been Tatis, Marte, Soto, Vlad, Machado, Caminero, J-Rod. Every game. The Americans have not had the same lineup any game. They're like, let's go Witt 2. Gutter 7. All right, win 1. Harper 2. Like, it's just like, what are we doing? Like, if your lineup is your lineup, start your lineup. Playing all this, everybody doesn't know where to hit. I
agree.
I hate that, actually. It'll be interesting, though, because I think now that the Americans losing and the Italians winning, they'll get the number 2 seed in this bracket, which means they're probably going to end up taking on the Japanese or the Dominicans very early next round. Maybe next round.
I don't think it. Yeah, I mean, it'll definitely be earlier than it should have been originally. Yeah, for sure.
Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find the bracket. Here it is. So Korea is already locked in. Japan's already locked in. So what pool is the Americans in?
Tony's saying if everything holds, we will play Canada Friday night, which will be a quarter. Which, yeah, I mean, that might make sense. We would probably play one of them in the semis rather than we might have had a shot of getting to the finals without playing.
I believe Tony. I believe in Joe Hendry also. Let me see what pool they're in because I have the bracket up now.
I don't believe in Triple H's booking anymore. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh, they're in Pool B. So Pool B runner up. Oh, okay, yeah, he's absolutely right. They're going to be on the. It looks like they'll be on the they'll be on the same side as the Dominicans. So they'll play the Dominicans in Miami if they win. So it's going to be the Dominican Republic versus Korea if they win tonight, Venezuela versus Japan, and then you're going to get the Americans versus the Canadians on March 13th at 7:00, and then the winner of the Dominicans versus the Koreans and the Americans versus the Canadians will play each other in the semifinals. On the other side, you'll have the Japanese, the Venezuelans, and then the Italians. Yeah. Thank you. I just seen the chat. Sorry, guys. You guys are awesome.
Italians are going to shock the world and knock out Japan.
I mean, the Italians would play them in the semis. Their first matchup would be the Venezuelans, who I think have a very good chance of knocking them out. I think they're a very good team. The loser of tonight's game, essentially. I think that's correct. I just want to double check. They're pulled to yes, I'm correct. The loser of the Dominicans versus the Venezuelans play the Japanese.
Japan.
Lose to Canada, put the whole team in jail, and throw away the key. I agree with you, John.
Agreed.
They can't lose the Canadians. I watched the Panama team absolutely put a hurting on the Canadians. And they have like two good baseball players on the whole team. All right, let's move over to college basketball. Guys, you ready for March? Are you ready for madness?
Always ready for March.
March Madness.
Nothing really exciting to report yet. It might have been something exciting to report earlier because your boys were on upset alert, the ones that should make the tournament over Bruce Pearls. They were definitely losing that game for a long time. Kentucky
Miami
squeaked by. No. Auburn, they were losing to Mississippi State. They ended up winning the game. But if you look at it, they were down like 10 in that game. They ended up winning by 18. Game was much closer than that. But they end up having a great second half. They won 49-28 in the second half. But nothing really to report. Like Kentucky won barely. LSU gave them a big fight. McKinnon had an incredible game, but nothing crazy yet.
Nah, I mean, like all the good teams are going to start playing tomorrow. You get into the higher seeds for both the Big Ten, the SEC, even the Big 12. So have a bunch like the mid-majors that'll either start punching tickets tonight or tomorrow. This will be a way more in-depth conversation and bigger topic next week, obviously.
Next week are we doing a bracket special?
Absolutely.
I'm down. Well, we got to do a bracket show. Bracketology Tuesday night with the guys.
Joe Lunardi.
Well, I got all of the tournaments here. We kind of want to just give our championship and winners here. If you want to go that route.
I love that. Way to be prepared, Cottrell. This is St. John's tournament to win. They should not lose this. They're the best team by far. I think they'll end up playing UConn in the finals. I have St. John's over UConn.
I have UConn over St. John's.
I also have UConn over St. John's. I think you're going to get a pissed off Hurley after his alter. I mean, that's also very true.
His brother just got canned, so.
But yeah, I do think it's, to your point, Gene, I think St. John's has been like that, the team to beat there in the Big East. But I do think UConn ultimately is going to pull it out and take care of it. I hate having it like kind of chalky, one first and your 1 seed and your 2 seed in the final there. But I mean, that's just the way I see it happening.
That's the way the Big East is. I don't think Seton Hall, Creighton, or Villanova are competitive with either one of those two teams.
Nova's biggest problem is they're a horrible matchup for both St. John's and Connecticut. They can't play the way they want to play against either one of them because of their front court. So they struggle against both of them.
Agreed.
All right, next one, a little bit harder to read. We're going to the ACC here.
Duke over whoever, it doesn't matter.
That's actually interesting. Go ahead.
I'm going to take Duke over Louisville. I think Louisville's going to go on a run. I've been high on Louisville, the whole year here, and I think with them being where they are, I think they won yesterday to advance. They're going to for sure be taking on Miami in the next game there.
They won this afternoon, and they were losing a decent majority of the game. I watched the whole thing. They're good. I mean, I really think it's a toss up. I mean, North Carolina not having Caleb, I don't know what you're going to get out of them. Virginia is just blah. Clemson can't score 50 points half the time they play. I don't know.
Virginia's your typical Virginia team where they play a ton of great defense. Everybody on their team can lock you up, but you just don't know what you're going to get from them night in, night out offensively. I mean, I think Duke can sleepwalk to the championship with their side of the bracket.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, when you look at this bracket, I think the winner of Miami versus Louisville will end up going to the finals and losing to Duke. So I'll go Duke over Louisville. I don't think Virginia, NC State, or Pitt win a game versus Louisville or Miami.
And NC State is an interesting team.
Did they play Pitt today? Did they win?
I believe so.
Bill, who you got going to the championship? Obviously, you got Duke winning, but
who's at the bottom?
You got Virginia, Miami, Pitt, NC State, SMU, Louisville. Well, Louisville and NC State.
NC State beat Pitt by 10 today.
I'll go NC State. Okay. Just for shits and giggles.
Just to be different.
Oh, this one's even harder to read. I didn't realize how bad it was. But you got the Big 12 here.
Are you talking about harder to read?
Yeah. For me, I guess I can go. I'll go first here because I do have a more chalky one. But I am taking Arizona over Kansas in the final. I think Arizona is obviously the team to beat there. But I know everyone's out on Peterson and all this, but I think Kansas Kansas found something bringing them off the bench. So I'm gonna ride the wave here. I'm gonna go Arizona over Kansas.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Arizona over Houston, and I wouldn't be shocked if Kansas lost to TCU.
I'm going Arizona over Houston as well. I don't think Texas Tech has enough, especially with losing what's his face and
Papa.
Yeah, I don't trust Kansas. I don't trust that I'm going to get 3 great games from in a row. I think I get a stinker somewhere. So Houston is definitely the more known solid commodity. I'll take Arizona over Houston.
All right, next one, we're going to the SEC.
I can read this one.
Yeah. I think so. The team I think that wins the national championship plays in the SEC.
Oh, I'm curious.
Well, it can only be one team.
I think Florida wins the national championship. I don't think Florida wins the SEC, and it happens so often.
Back. Wow. Okay.
I think Florida loses in the SEC tournament games. I think they actually lose to Tennessee in the semis. So I have Tennessee beating Florida in one semi, and I have Alabama beating Arkansas in the other. I have Alabama beating Tennessee in the SEC finals.
Oh, this is the first one. We're going to have a little bit of chaos here because I actually have Arkansas winning the SEC this year over Florida.
I'm going to go Florida over Arkansas. I think that Arkansas-Alabama game at the bottom will be another absolute track meet. Yep. Neither team plays defense well, and neither team looks like they're really interested in ever playing defense. But they both can score. They can score quickly and efficiently. That will be an absolute track meet. Take whatever the over is in that game, take it if we get there. Last time they played, I believe it was double overtime, and it was 115 to like 113 or something like that. Both those teams can score. But in the end all be all, Florida's just too solid. I love their bigs. They can play defense. They're going to slow either one of those teams down. And again, both those teams lack of defensive prowess. Florida's an inside-out game, especially being able to shoot the three as well. I love Florida to win the SEC.
Tennessee might lose to Vandy. You're absolutely correct. Vanderbilt is the higher seed. That's the whole point in predicting upsets.
So it makes March fun.
Yeah.
And then I believe this is the last one here. We're going to the Big Ten.
We aren't doing anything. I'm just kidding. I was going to joke. We're not doing the Pac-12, the Mountain West. I'm kidding. Michigan's the best team in this, and I think Michigan ends up dog walking Purdue again. I got Michigan over Purdue.
Kind of pissed that we're on this side of the bracket because the way we're playing, I 100% think we could have made it to the final and we would have lost to Michigan. But with that being said, I definitely have Michigan going to the final there. I'm going to go Michigan over Michigan State. Would not be surprised if Purdue is there, but I'm going to go Michigan over Michigan State.
Purdue is I feel like they're just struggling to get to the end here. I still like them. Nebraska's a fraud. I have no qualms about them getting through Nebraska. I think Michigan State might be a tough matchup. I would love to see Michigan beat Michigan State for the third time this year. So that's probably what I'm going to go with. If Purdue was playing better, I still think their ceiling can keep them on the court with anybody in the country. They just haven't played that way for the last 2.5 weeks, and it's making it difficult for me to pick them.
They are a big reason why Ohio State's going to be in the tournament. Shout out to Purdue.
I'll go Michigan over Sparty.
Guys,
right.
Before we get in, you got to be kidding me. And we'll get into our bracket next week. Before we get into, you got to be kidding me. Going into conference championship week, which is one of the best weeks of college basketball, and then it leads into the best week of college basketball, which is the opening week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I want your no doubt about it national championship pick right now. I need it before conference championship week. And then when we do brackets, if you want to change it, if somebody gets hurt, that's fine. But like, you have all the information you need. I want your national championship. You need to see the bracket. I get it. You got to see how the matchups play out. But I want your national championship pick before the brackets, pre-bracket champion.
I would like to see who's going to have to play who in the Final Four, but
Duke losing their point guard is going to hurt them a ton, bro.
My Final Four, even with that, has not changed.
Well, I'm curious to see ultimately when he comes back, because I know they say he's out indefinitely, but they're hoping to get him back for the tournament.
Broken foot, dude. I can't see him playing. Doesn't change. It does. Honestly, I think it makes their road harder. I think their margin of error is obviously smaller, but that's where it gets tough. Because again, I would like just to see like Florida. Unless Florida loses, they're going to be a 1 seed now. So like, I want to see where Houston goes, where Iowa State goes. Like, I want to see who gets what too. But
as it stands right now, my national championship game, again, not seeing the bracket, would be Duke versus Michigan, and I would take Duke over Michigan.
Mine's the same, just a different result.
We'll go Florida over Arizona.
So I think we're all going to. Well, I mean, I think
Arizona is the team that knocks off Duke. I think Arizona is the team that knocks off Duke. I think Arizona has the size to play with Duke, or not Duke. Michigan. I think Arizona has the size to play with Michigan. I think Arizona is the team that knocks off Michigan. I think Florida knocks off Duke. I think your Final Four is Florida, Duke, Arizona, and Michigan.
Arizona is really good, and they do have the star power that can get it done, mixed with the size. So, like, I wouldn't be surprised if they got there.
Arizona, Florida, Michigan are all built very similarly. Very similarly.
Honestly, you can throw UConn in there too.
Really good right now.
What?
Boogie Fland has looked really good the past 2 weeks. We talked about him before the season started, but he's really taken his game to the next level the last couple weeks.
Well, you got to figure at that point, UConn's going to be a 2, Houston's going to be a 2, Michigan State's probably a 2,
And Iowa State's probably
Iowa State's probably the other 2. But then now you have now Purdue probably falls to a 3. So who gets stuck with Purdue is a 3. It's going to be interesting.
I'll tell you what. Whoever has Nebraska on their 3 line, I'm picking them to go to the Final Four.
It's so true. I'm praying we get Nebraska. I'm praying.
I think the starting lineup for Florida is very important. I don't think they have depth. I think their starting 5 is all really good. And I think when you get to their bench, they really don't have any players. Thomas Hall, Alex Condon, Boogie Fland, that's where Florida excels. I don't see them adding much depth. So if anybody goes down with an injury, I feel like they're gone.
I also think too, I say Duke over Michigan, but that's so against my typical thinking. You guys know I love the vets on the team, and I love, especially at the guard position. And I love a team that has experience. And of course, that's not going to be that Duke team this year. So I think once everything is said and done and we actually see the brackets, I do think I'm going to be subject to change that. It's just, I think when I look at the regular season, as good as Arizona's been, as good as Florida's been, as good as UConn's been, I just think that Duke and Michigan were the 2 best teams that I got to watch consistently. So I think that's where my head is at right now, but I definitely think that's going to change, just kind of seeing those matchups.
So Eric asked who I think the biggest upset's going to be. Eric, who do you think I'm going to go with? First round, 12 over a 5. Maybe a 13 over a 4. Guys, it's really easy.
Taking Miami?
Taking Kansas. Gone. Get out of here.
Kansas isn't going to be a 5. They might. I
They'll
don't
be a
think they'll go that
4.
low. They'll probably be a 4. They might even be a 3.
They shouldn't be a 3.
I agree.
They're 19th ranked. I think they have 9 losses. They should not be a 3.
Yeah, they have a lot of quad 1 wins, though.
They just got blown out by Arizona State, who got dog walked today.
They did get dog walked.
Yeah, they literally fired Taylor Hurley right after the game.
They lost by 50. All right, let's get into You Got to Be Kidding Me, gentlemen. Before I wet my pants.
This week was tough because everybody who I wanted to use, we kind of covered already in Hotwire.
Use them anyway.
I was gonna say I'm gonna pick one of them. I'm leaning the Ravens route because they are in my division. I do think it's wild that, and I get it, the league year hasn't started yet, but it's wild to ultimately say, hey, we're going to trade for Max Crosby. And, it'd be one thing if it was there was some injury that wasn't disclosed, but everyone and their mother knew that Max Crosby was coming off a knee surgery, and you knew, what that was ultimately going to look like. And again, it's all reports ultimately showed that the knee is going to schedule, and then to go and sign Trey Hendrickson literally right afterwards and realize that, hey, I can sign Trey Hendrickson, get a slightly worse edge, but I get to keep 2 first-round picks. Felt very, very scummy to me, and I feel like the league should do something about that. They probably won't, but it should definitely get looked into because that's a bad way to do business, and I hope teams realize that they shouldn't be making deals with the Ravens moving forward here because they're shady like that. So for me this week, the Baltimore Ravens and their handling of the Max Crosby situation.
Come on, you gotta be kidding me.
We will give her a golf right afterwards. I apologize. It was 2 hours in and I had to use it.
We got paid?
Yeah.
I actually have one this week.
So
you have to wait longer. I'm going to go with a guy that, even though he's on an arch rival, I've always respected him because I think he's a great coach. But I think he's getting a little cranky. He's getting a little up there in age. I'm going with Tom Izzo. head coach of Michigan State basketball. I'm gonna preface this is like a two-pronged thing. So when Michigan played at Michigan State earlier this year, Dusty May came out on the bench, sat there. Kids were shouting all kinds of stuff at him. He sat there, smiled, took it, loved it. He embraces the rivalry. They won the game, so it makes it a little easier. At the end of the game last weekend in Ann Arbor, Michigan beat Michigan State yet again. And all the fans started chanting Little Brother, which has always been the big thing between Michigan and Michigan State since Mike Hart said it after a football game. Tom Izzo in his press conference started bitching, said, I'm nobody's little brother. Like, got really, really hung up on it, wouldn't let it go. There was a couple of reporters that asked him different questions to kind of switch gears. He kept coming back to it. It clearly really got under his skin. It really bothered him. Between that and then the bitching about fears, continuing just to try to kick people in the balls, which I don't understand. He's blaming on everybody but the guy that he should blame it on and talk to his own player. They showed the replay of the one in the Michigan game where our guy didn't even touch him and he bent over and tried to kick him in the nuts again. I don't know what it is. It's just weird that, like, we're getting away from – the one thing I always respect about Izzo was always coaches kids hard. His kids always played the right way, always had accountability. And now he's turning like the grumpy old guy that's just like, he's like, get off my yard type guy. So me this week, Tom Izzo, crying like an old guy.
Come on, you gotta be kidding me.
Guys, I'm using it and I'm using it. I was going to use either one that you guys didn't use, and neither one of you guys used it. So I'm going to use Mark DeRosa. And I'd love to use the last night's bullshit in the Miami Heat game. Trust me, I would, because that was awful. And I think Kobe's rolling in his grave right now watching that bullshit that happened last night. I'll just say that one more time. So I don't know how you're the coach of Team USA. Shall let me ask you a question. Who's Mark DeRosa coach for? Is he head coach of any Major League Baseball team?
No.
Oh, okay. So what is his primary job right now?
To coach Team USA.
Not knowing the damn rules and how you can not get in and partying the night before and being late and drinking all night and losing to Team Italy with one of the greatest baseball rosters ever assembled is absolutely unforgivable. It's unforgivable. Playing around with a lineup before you get into the knockout stage when you don't have anything wrapped up is unforgivable. Not knowing in the 7th inning of a game that you're down 8-0, you probably shouldn't throw Clayton Kershaw. It's unforgivable. You might not care about the World Baseball Classic, but there's millions of American baseball fans that do. The Dominicans have a great team. The Japanese beat us a couple years ago. To be our redeem team. Harper, Captain America Judge, Schwarber, Skeens. This was supposed to be our redeem team. And this asshole doesn't even know if we advanced or not. Thankfully, Aaron Nola and the Italians are shutting out the Mexicans 7-0, and we're going to advance. But let this be a wake-up call, scumbag. Because Bobby Witt Jr., Gunnar Henderson, the Dumper, those guys are a great ball team. Your job is to get them to play together, to create the right lineup. So for now, Mark DeRosa.
Come on, you gotta be kidding me.
All right, let's give our PGA picks. I had to get it off my chest. I feel better now.
Excellent. I'm glad you feel better.
Excellent.
All right, Bill, you're gonna give us the preview.
I'll give you the quick rundown here because I know Gene's got to pee. Players Championship, everybody refers to it as the 5th major. TPC Sawgrass out of Ponte Vedra Gardens, Florida. The infamous 17th Island Green, 16, 17, 18, considering one of the hardest closing 3 holes in all of golf. Hard tournament to win. Top 80 player, top 85 players. are invited. All PGA Tour people, to who's there. So, like I said, it's you look on the trophy of who've won it. It's a lot of big names. It's the who's who of everybody. So, it's a great tournament for sure. Great course.
So now we got to pick our winner. And I have a winner. And I didn't go with – I went with a long shot, but the long shot's a top 10 finish. And it's a long shot for a top 10 finish. I'm not going to pick him to win. He's not going to win. But I think he has a very good weekend. I'll give my winner first. He's plus 1,800. Give me Colin Morikawa.
So I don't go second.
I have him winning it all, plus 1,800. For my long shot, guys, this is the top 10 long shot, and he's plus 700 to make to the top 10. Give me Ben Griffin. Let me explain to you. I think Ben Griffin, he just got cut in the Arnold Palmer. He was 3 over, but he was shooting well. I think Ben Griffin has a very good start to this tournament and is near the top of the leaderboard after 2 days, and I think he hangs on and finishes like 7th or 8th. At plus 700, you could probably cash it out by Saturday. I like Ben Griffin to finish top 10, but my winner is Colin Morikawa.
All right. Well, I'll go second here. And I'm letting you guys know right now, for the first time in a long time, I'm putting some money on golf this weekend because I feel confident this weekend. Long shot. My first long shot. This guy who is at plus 5,000 right now. That's Ricky Fowler. If you've been paying attention so far this year, Ricky Fowler is quietly off to a really good start. Played well in that Arnold Palmer tournament that you're talking about. Also played well in the Pebble Beach Pro-Am. He always plays well here at TPC Sawgrass too. So he's one that I got my eye on, especially at plus 5,000. Another one I like, plus 3,000. Got Xander. Xander's sitting there plus 3,000. I think that's really good value there for him. But my winner this week, and who I'm ultimately rolling with to take the cake, I'm going with Ludwig Aberg to take the cake at plus 2,000. Again, been playing great. I think he's going to be up for the challenge here, and I think this is going to be the start of a great year for him.
I actually have Ludwig Kaiser as the second El Grande Americano. So that's why I have my money
on. Quick Ricky Fowler note. Does you play well there? Like that pick. Claire Cottrell's betting golf. Love that. Ricky, though, if you haven't seen it yet, if you watch the practice rounds, he has a special bag this week, and it is absolute fire. He's sponsored by Cobra. Obviously, they're in Florida, so there's like the whole orange juice theme tied in. And if you know Ricky, he always wears orange on Sunday. That's his color. He's got this Cobra juice bag. It is so freaking cool looking. So if you're watching this weekend and he makes it, watch that. It's cool. I unfortunately have the same winner as Gene. I'm taking Colin Morikawa. I think Tee to Green, he's been very good this year. He's been consistent. I believe he's won it before. I can't remember. I think he has. I'm not sure. But he's off to just an absolute hot start. I like the way he's playing. Him, as always, with a lot of other guys, but he's putting well. He's one of the best ball strikers on tour. So I have him as my winner. Jake Knapp's another guy that's just been solid. Tee to Green all year so far. A little bit of a further bomber. TPC, believe it or not, is not a bomber's course. You just can't miss fairways. So he's an accurate driver of the ball. Again, another good iron striker. Strikes the ball well. A little streaky with the putter, but I think he could be there at the end. And I low-key like Ludwig Aberg as well. Last 2 weeks he's played very well. So that's my pick.
I love it. Colin Morikawa. That's my pick. I picked him first. I was correct. You shot around yet this year, Chow?
What?
Have you shot around yet this year?
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna dust off the old clubs and shoot around this upcoming week.
You're gonna buy new clubs this year?
Yes, sir.
You know what you're getting?
No, I don't. I would like someone to help me with that.
I will gladly help you with that.
That's what I was hoping for. Guys, any final comments today?
Got nothing. I'm excited for next week's show. You guys have brought me into on the tradition for the last 6 years. This will be year number 6 where I have not worked the opening Thursday of March Madness. So I'm looking forward to that next week and just doing the full bracket show.
I love it. I'm good.
I have a huge one. I just don't know if I'm going to say it yet. So I'm going to have to hold it till next week.
You have a huge one.
Yeah. I just don't know if I'm going to say it. I gotta get it signed off on. So I will come back next week. We'll check it out.
Well, I'll invite anybody that's in the sports cards to continue to follow and support Wire2Wire Breaks. We are having a great time. We're breaking a lot of sports cards. We're doing a lot of stuff. It's been so much fun. And we're only a month and a half in. Well, not even a month and a half. I say a month and a half like it's not a month, like 5 days. But it's absolutely been awesome. 225 5-star reviews, over 1,200 items sold, not 12,000. But thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. And make sure you check us out on Whatnot, Wire2Wire Breaks. I'm the NFL Genius Gene Walzek. Penn State's own, Cleveland's own, College Control, Uncle Shally, Scholastic Shally, Mr. William Shallcross, and we are signing